Welcome back. You're watching Uspecial on Ndtv Hindu, where we're talking about the cause of women empowerment, and the alpha females here have pretty much taken on that cause head on. Well, again, we're back to this rather interesting issue that we have been discussing. But one thing which you have to realize is anything that is a new venture is bound to have problems, and especially which you say that this particular initiative is in its infancy stages. So first up, what are the issues and problems that you guys dealt with right from the word go, ever since you wanted to conceptualize this, like she said, in June?
Yeah, see, this is the first time Stella Maris is ever organizing a walkathon, and it's the first time for all of us as well. So we had a lot of problems, but we're still learning, and we had to approach a lot of colleges and throw it open to public and get people to participate since it's the first time.
Right.
So we're working on creating an awareness and spreading the news that Stella Maris is doing this for a very good cause of first generation women learners. So right from permission to publicizing the entire thing, to getting permission in college, to going to the commissioner, getting permission in the service lane at the beach, it's been a lot of hard work, and we're still learning, but it's a good experience, and we're looking forward to learning much more from this.
Yeah, what do you have to say? Anything?
In schools and all, if we say, they are very interactive and they want to join the walk this time, and they were like scholarship for higher education for women, so they were interested more in that.
Okay.
The teachers, even the school teachers and the principals, I too want to join the walk. And they were like,
That's great. That's a pretty great, initial response that you can think of. But is there any point in time that you encountered any issues?
One thing that happened is we did have to approach sponsors, people who could give us money and support for our
Right.
cause, because financially we are not that backed. So first thing was when we go to say Stella Maris College, so they're like, okay, girls college. So, and then they're like, students are taking care of this. They're like, okay, that's even worse, because they don't take us that seriously.
Right.
Because there's no celebrity, and there's no no corporate who's backing us.
Correct.
So talking to sponsors and getting the idea across them and convincing them was, like, I think one of the major issues that all of us had to go through. Talking to schools and colleges was rather easy because they just have to come and walk. But talking to sponsors and convincing them to be with us or to give us some financial support, and people not taking us seriously was, I think, one of a really big issue.
All right. Why exactly were they not able to take you seriously? As in, what do you think the problem was over there in perception?
I think, like with everything else, it's all about building a brand. So Stella's not, the walkathon as such isn't a brand that's established itself yet. So people are still testing the waters really to see whether it will sustain, to see whether we are doing something, or whether it's, this whim, the schoolgirl sort of whim that we all embarked upon and we will let go in a couple of years. Well, that's not what it is for us. It's something we're taking very seriously, and that we hope that will definitely sustain. But that's not something we can expect people we go to for money to believe in.
Which is true. I think
So
she's
it's
made
fair
a point here,
enough.
because usually what happens is when, especially if you're a first timer with something like this, people don't tend to take you seriously, and they say that you don't have the mileage to work it out in the long run. So what do you do as a potential candidate who wants to convince a sponsor? Say, supposing you're convincing me, what would you do to convince me? How would you market your walkathon to me? What would you do?
We would work on our cause as such, because considering the fact that we're working towards higher education of first generation learners, not many people really focus on such an idea, and that is actually our biggest asset that we're working on right now. Because first of all, education for women, as probably when they're really young, is possible. They study till 12th grade, but really no one really focuses on the education beyond 12th, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're giving them an opportunity to study further. So we're pushing that cause to our sponsors and people who want to give us cash, and promising them that the cash that they give us will never be misused and it will always go to the right cause.
Fair enough.
We are starting a fund, so it's all going to be very transparent, and it is something that everyone has access to and everyone can see. And the thing is, no one is disputing the cause. No one is saying anything about the viability and the value and all the creative and initiative and generally behind the cause. So no one's disputing that. It's just a question, a very fair question really, about whether we can sustain this. But I think passion really comes through, and
Really does.
all of us are. We have an immense team working on this, and we have very, very good support from the management, principal, vice principals, our deans. All of them are backing us immensely.
Huge,
So all of that really counts. So when anyone sees that we have so much support and passion, I think it's a good combination.
Definitely is.
We've not had a incredibly easy path, but it's not been, ridiculously difficult because the
Difficult either,
walkathon
so
is
that's
happening.
great. I think a very positive attitude is what I feel here, which is great. But this is something I ask a lot of people, who are into social causes per se. The longevity makes a huge difference, and you need to also sustain yourself in the long run because you are so passionate about your cause. Are you afraid that there might be some problems in the future, like commitments, which is something you can't run away from? You have your studies and you have your, generally, if you have a job and stuff like that, which are normal commitments in everybody's life. So are you afraid that you may or may not be able to pitch in that kind of time and the effort and energy to fructate a cause of this extent?
Are you talking about this particular one or
In general,
any cause
in general? Yeah.
No, basically it's like, see, we have always like concentrated more on all this. See, we're influencing our juniors to do this. So down the lane of another 10 years, this will actually be a huge thing. We'll make the whole of Chennai to look forward to our project,
Okay.
It's like, I'm proud to say that I'm a part of this walkathon thing because I know how it works. And now we're just starting up. This is like the first step of whatever you're doing right
Okay.
now. So that's a reason, a lot of publicity, we're expecting a lot of things, we'll influence a lot of things. And I'm sure down the lane of 10 years, I will be a part of it. And all of us will be a part of this. And we'll
Okay.
be proud to be a part of this because I think the entire Chennai will be, in it. I'm pretty confident about the
Very
fact that we're
ambitious
doing it.
streak in you right there, which is great. I think that's the initially the kind of startup attitude that everybody should have. What do you have to say about that? Anybody can take that.
I think working on a social cause, anybody I think who has the passion to do it will continue to do it the whole of their life. There might be phases where you cannot, or there might be
Yeah.
difficult situations
True.
where you may not be able to give a lot of time. But then there's always this, period of time where it gets over. That difficult phase gets over, and you do get a lot of time and effort to put into what you believe in.
All right.
So I don't think it'll ever go out of your life. Maybe it would become less in some parts of your life, but I don't think it'll ever go out of your life.
All right. All right. On that note, I think it's pretty much pertinent to put a close to this particular segment. But up next, we're going to be talking about generally walkathons and marathons in general, which are supposed to propagate and how to advocate a social cause. How much mileage do they really give to the cause in general? Stay tuned to Uspecial. We'll be right back with more of that.